Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Conjoined. Fate brought them together, flesh kept them together, love will tear them apart.
Directed by Joe Grisaffi, starring Tom Long, Michelle Ellen Jones, Keefer Barlow, and Jake Bird. Conjoined is about a somewhat nerdy guy who is dabbling in online dating, like many of us may be, or not. He stumbles upon a girl, falls in love. A week before they're about to get married, he finds out that she's actually a conjoined twin. He continues to go along with the process, and the other twin starts killing off people that he's trying to hook her up with so that she can have a boyfriend. And well, it's just a very awkward comedy from here on out. So what do we like?
The awkwardness of this film.
Definitely.
It has some of the most hilarious moments just because of the pacing and the style. It's really just a lot of dead air and like long takes, which is funny because you're just feeling uncomfortable and it's cringeworthy, but it's funny cringeworthy.
And it's supposed to be. This is like intentionally holding shots longer than they should be, and it's great. We were howling at a lot of the hilarious jokes and like the lack of jokes. Their delivery was fantastic because they were all so goddamn awkward. It's just amazing. There's just some really, really great comedic gold here.
I loved every single character in this movie. Each character was enjoyable. You liked everyone that you were seeing on screen. Like, we had our stereotypes. We had Jerry, who was that douchebag, but he was funny with his one-liners that you couldn't help but like him. And Stanley is the awkward one. And then we have our conjoined twins. Elisa is just downright crazy. And then Alina's just like caught in the middle.
And the way that things were shot was actually really well done, considering you always have at least 3 people involved in the conversation. I mean, can you imagine being married to a conjoined twin? And I'm not trying to offend any conjoined twins that might be watching the show. We like you both. I know that this movie's not going to be for everybody, but I think that there's enough laughs in here that you're probably gonna like it.
They really did a good job keeping it consistent in the continuity with how the twins were conjoined. There's one scene where you get double blowjobs. They lined it up right perfectly. It wasn't like they misplaced the twins.
Well, no, I don't think they're gonna be moving around.
No, but
they know to be at the dick. The 180-degree rule was executed perfectly while the girls are given head. So we found out about this movie through a movie that we just watched called Killed TV. In this movie, we saw a poster behind someone that has a throwback to another movie that they've done.
Haunted trailer.
I don't know how deep this is gonna go, guys, but we're gonna keep going. Now let's go on to our dislikes. The acting isn't the best. We kind of expect that going into indie movies, but it is definitely worth pointing out.
There are a few awkward moments, I think, that shouldn't have been in this film. In particular, Stanley laughing. They did it a few times, and they had it on with him just laughing for no apparent reason.
Even Jerry and Stanley laughing together in like a closet or something. And I bet that they were trying to get like that awkward, cringeworthy moment out of it, but it didn't work. It is also a little disappointing that we don't see a little bit more gore. It's a little bit nitpicky, but you know, I always want more gore. This is hardly worth mentioning, but I'll mention it anyway. There are some spotty audio bits, like, for example, when we have like the cringeworthy laughing scenes, they do clip the audio. When there's a detective investigating bags of bodies, there's a lot of wind sound, like, so little like mistakes that they happen naturally. As you're an indie filmmaker, this happens, and we understand that. So we're not like knocking points off the score here because of these very small issues, but it's something to note if you're not used to watching indie film and you're not used to these kind of like inconsistencies in audio, you might be a little peeved by it. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Conjoined was an absolute blast to watch, especially watching it with a friend. I think if you have some drinks and you have some friends, you should certainly watch this because the awkward humor was nailed perfectly. The acting was a little touchy, but I mean, they were awkward in itself, so it kind of added to the whole environment that this film was creating. They were very self-aware with what they were making, and it's just such a weird concept to play with that I have never seen before. We could have had a couple more on-screen kills, but that's certainly not going to take away from what I felt about the movie because I had a great time watching it. So I'm going to give this 4 banana Big Mac combos out of 5.
I really enjoyed Conjoined. The awkwardness really hit majority of the time. There was a few things I really wish didn't happen, but this film is really more for the humor and the awkwardness. We have a really cool concept in a conjoined serial killer and putting them in situations that you kind of feel for one of the twins and you don't know what to feel for the other twin. And you definitely don't know what to feel for the third wheel Stanley. You definitely need to go check this out because it is hilarious and it's a great time. So with that being said, I'm going to give this 4 lamb chop Pez dispensers out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't, we highly recommend you check it out. There are links in the description where you can find it. So make sure you go check it out. Support indie horror. Thank you for watching. If you want to keep updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond, make sure you subscribe to the channel.